A second-hand HiLux used to cost more than a brand new one, not a misprint. For 2 strange years in this country, used utes and family cars sold above their brand new list price because the new ones were stuck on boats and the used ones were sitting right there. That era is over, and it is now paying out in reverse. At the auctions where every dealer sets his numbers, the hardest hit cars have shed an average of $30,000, sliding from over 80 grand to just above 50, according to auction data from Manheim and Cox Automotive. And the bloke across the trade-in desk watched it happen live, which is exactly why the offer on your car felt like an insult. 10 cars whose trade-in values are being quietly executed in Australia right now: petrol, diesel, and electric, because this does not discriminate. Number 1 is not some exotic. It is the most Australian purchase there is, made at the worst possible moment, and there is a fair chance it is parked in your driveway on finance. First, 30 seconds on how trade-ins actually work, because once you see the machine, the insult starts making sense. Your dealer does not price your car on love. He prices it on exit. The question is never, what is this worth? It is, what will this fetch at Manheim on Tuesday if it sits on my lot for 90 days and I have to dump it? Auction value, minus reconditioning, minus interest on the money while it sits, minus a margin for the risk. When the auction number is strong, trade-in offers feel generous. When the auction number is falling, the dealer protects himself, and when it is falling fast, he would honestly rather not have your car at all. Every entry on this list is a car where that auction number has moved against you, and the 2 most Australian cars of all are waiting at the top of the countdown. Number 10. The Runout casualties. The Kia Seltos sitting in a driveway is worth less every time the dealer down the road runs a Runout sale on the new one, and this year the Runout sales have been savage. You know the wider war from this channel: Chinese brands landing sharp drive-away prices, the established brands discounting to defend, new car deals in 2026 that would have been unthinkable 3 years ago. Every one of those new car deals reprices the used market underneath it. Why would a buyer pay $29,000 for your 3-year-old SUV when the brand new version, with the new warranty, is on a drive-away special for $34,000? The $5,000 gap is not enough to carry 3 years of age, and the dealer knows it before you have parked. This is the entry that catches ordinary, sensible cars: Seltos, Tucson, CX-5, ASX. Nothing wrong with any of them except that their segment became the front line of a price war. Your car did not get worse. The new car got cheaper, and in the used market, that is the same thing. Number 9. The luxury electric pioneers. The Audi e-tron was a $170,000 statement, and the statement did not age well. Data from Australian resale analysis found e-trons that retailed at a median of nearly $172,000, selling for $69,990 after 3 years. That is a fall of 59%, and in dollars, it is 100 grand, gone. The BMW iX3 tells the same story, shedding around 59% over a similar window. These were the flagship electrics of their moment, bought by early adopters who paid the Pioneer Premium, and the Pioneer Premium is exactly what evaporated. The dealer's problem with your luxury EV is simple. The next buyer for a 6-figure electric wants the newest range and the newest software, and your 3-year-old flagship has neither. He cannot retail it against the new one, so his offer starts from what a wholesaler will risk. If you own one, brace before you ask. If you are buying one used, this same collapse is the greatest luxury car discount Australia has ever accidentally run. Number 8. The first-generation electrics. The early Nissan Leaf and its generation are where the pioneers above learned their lesson first. The first wave of electrics came with shorter ranges, slower charging, and in the Leaf's case, a battery cooled by nothing but air and hope. In a hot country, that combination aged the technology in dog years. A modern electric car from 2021 onward, with liquid cooling and proper battery management, holds its health far better than the folklore says, and the testing data proves it. But the folklore was written by this first generation, and the used market prices folklore, not lab results. So the earliest electrics now trade for small money, and the dealer's offer on one is not really an offer. It is a polite way of saying, please take this somewhere else. If you own one, a private sale to an informed buyer will nearly always beat the trade. And if you are hunting a cheap second car for the school run, the same folklore discount makes these the sneaky bargain of the decade, provided you get the battery checked first. Number 7. The 100,000 kilometre diesel Euro. The European diesel wagon with 6 figures on the clock is the car dealers have quietly stopped wanting to see. The badge is prestigious, the tow bar is fitted, and the wholesale market for it has thinned to almost nothing, because everyone in the trade knows what comes after 100,000 kilometres on a complex European diesel, and it is invoices. The trade calls these cars money pits with quarterly instalments. Injectors, particulate filters, dual mass flywheels, electronics, and the reconditioning risk lands entirely on whoever owns it when something lets go. A dealer taking one on trade is betting his margin that nothing fails during his 90 days of ownership, so his offer prices in the whole risk. Meanwhile, the buyer who once wanted this exact car has moved to a hybrid or gone electric. If you own a big kilometre Euro diesel, the honest advice is uncomfortable. The private market of enthusiasts who understand these cars is your exit, because the trade has already left the building. Number 6. The Tesla that got repriced overnight. The Tesla in your driveway is worth what Tesla says the new one costs, and that is the whole entry. Tesla's price cuts through 2023 and 24 took the Model Y rear-wheel drive down to $55,900, almost $16,000 less than the same car listed at the end of 2022. Every one of those cuts repriced every used Tesla in the country overnight. No hail, no crash, no kilometres added, just a press release from California, and tens of thousands of Australian owners woke up owing more than the car was worth. 3 to 4-year-old Model 3s now retain roughly 56% of their original price at auction, and dealers price the trade knowing another cut could land any week. In fairness, and it is a big fairness, Tesla this year started offering guaranteed future value loans in Australia, effectively insuring new buyers against its own pricing behaviour. That helps the next owner. It does nothing for the current one standing at the trade-in desk. If this video has already saved you from one bad trade-in conversation, tap like and subscribe. This channel exists to put the auction data in front of the driveway, because the industry certainly is not going to, and the algorithm only keeps sending these if you tell it to. Right, the top 5. And the last 2 are the most Australian cars on the road. Number 5. The badges on death row. The Jeep on your street lost thousands in value the day this channel counted its June sales on one hand and the dealers counted faster. Regular viewers know the story. Jeep down to a few hundred sales a year, and its Stellantis stablemates, Citroën, Fiat, Peugeot, Alfa Romeo, all collapsing in Australia at once. Understand what a dying badge does at the trade-in desk. The dealer is not pricing the car in front of him. He is pricing the question, can I retail a brand whose parts supply, dealer network, and very presence in this country are publicly in doubt? The answer arrives as a number that makes owners flinch when an offer arrives at all. The cruel mechanics are worth saying plainly. The panic discounts that dying brands run to move new stock execute the used values at the same time, so loyal owners get hit twice, once by the brand's decline and once by its rescue attempts. If you hold a badge on the watch list and you are thinking about moving it on, the market history of dying brands in this country says the offers do not improve with patience. Number 4. The end of lease flood. The novated Lease Electric coming off contract is the quiet glut behind half this list. Australia ran a boom in salary-packaged electric cars powered by tax breaks, and those leases are now maturing in waves. Auction volumes of used electrics have quadrupled this year. Thousands of near-identical cars, same colours, same specs, landing at Manheim within months of each other. Flood the auction with identical stock, and the price does what prices do. And the lease paperwork hides a trap for the driver too. Many contracts assumed the car would be worth around 47% of its price at the 3-year mark, and on several popular models, the real market number has landed underneath that. The gap between the assumed residual and the true value is not the finance company's problem. Read your contract. It is usually yours. If your lease matures this year, get a real market valuation months before the end date, not the week of. The difference between planning your exit and accepting the default one can be 5 figures. Number 3. The first wave Chinese electrics. The MG4 is the car that proved a sharp price cuts both ways. It arrived as one of the cheapest ways into an electric car in Australia, sold in real numbers, and then the resale data landed. Auction analysis from Pickles and Datium found the MG4 retaining around 50% of its price after just 2 years, one of the fastest falls of any electric on sale. Compare that to the BYD Seal, holding around 78% over the same window, and you can see this is not an anti-Chinese story. It is a discount story. When a brand runs constant drive-away specials on the new car, every special reprices the used ones downward, because no buyer pays yesterday's money for your car when this week's brand new one costs nearly the same. The dealer knows which brands run on permanent special, and his trade-in offers on those badges are built with the next discount already priced in. The badge on your car sets the rules your resale plays by, and some badges wrote very hard rules for their earliest customers. Number 2. The family SUV bought at the peak. The RAV4 or CX5 you bought in 2021 or 22 was purchased in the strangest market in Australian automotive history, and the bill for that strangeness arrives at trade-in time. During the shortage years, waiting lists ran to 18 months, dealers charged over list price, and near-new used cars famously sold for more than brand new ones because they existed and the new ones did not. Then the boats came back. Supply normalised, discounts returned, and the entire premium Australians paid during the shortage evaporated because it was never value, it was scarcity. If you paid $5,000 or $8,000 over the odds in 2022, that money was always going to vanish, and it has, into the exact gap between what you owe and what the dealer offers. None of this makes the car itself a mistake. A RAV4 is still a RAV4, and it holds value better than nearly anything on this list. The wound is the timing, and the practical fix is patience where you can afford it. Every month you hold, the shortage premium you paid matters less against the kilometres of use you got. Trading a peak purchase at the bottom of its curve is the one move that locks the loss in permanently. Number 1. The $70,000 ute on finance. The dual cab ute bought at the top of the boom is the most Australian financial injury of the decade, and it is sitting in hundreds of thousands of driveways right now. Through the shortage years, tradies and families paid record money for utes, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 drive away for the big spec dual cabs, often financed over 5 years, often with a balloon at the end, because the work was flowing and the ute was unkillable, and everyone knew a HiLux never loses money. Then everything on this list arrived at once. Supply came back, the Runout wars started, the Chinese utes landed, a plug-in Shark 6 undercutting the establishment by thousands and dragging every ute price down with it. And the auction market, where your dealer sets his numbers, adjusted the way markets do, quickly and without sentiment. Now run the arithmetic that thousands of owners are running at trade-in desks. A big spec ute financed at the peak, with a balloon payment engineered against yesterday's resale assumptions, meeting today's wholesale reality. For a portion of those owners, the trade-in offer does not clear the payout figure, which has a name nobody uses out loud at the dealership: negative equity. Owing money on a car you no longer own is the sharpest edge of this entire video, and it is why the dealer who once fought for your late model ute now walks around it slowly, quoting carefully. The ute is still the right car for this country, but the ute bought at the peak, on the balloon, is the single biggest concentration of quiet financial pain in the Australian driveway right now, and the industry has no interest in saying so. Consider it said. Number 0. The dealer's side of the desk. I have spent 20 minutes making trade-in offers sound like a scam, so here is the other side, and it deserves a fair run. First, the dealer is not stealing your equity. The auction already did. His offer tracks a wholesale market you can check yourself, and in most of these cases, the value was destroyed by price cuts, floods of supply, or brand collapse long before you reached his desk. Shooting the messenger feels good and changes nothing. Second, the trade-in is a convenience product and it is priced like one. You are selling instantly, with no strangers at your house, no test drives, no payment risk, and the discount you accept for that is real, but it is not a con. The private market pays more because you do the work and carry the risk. Third, some of this list is already turning. Used electric demand in Australia surged more than 50% in the first half of this year. Prices have been stabilising since January, and manufacturers are now underwriting future values on new purchases. The worst phase of electric depreciation looks closer to its end than its beginning, which is exactly when the folklore is most out of date. And fourth, every horror number in this video is also a bargain from the other chair. The $100,000 that vanished from a used e-tron became someone's 60% discount on a luxury car. Depreciation does not destroy money, it transfers it from the first owner to the second, and you get to choose which chair you sit in next time. So here is what you actually do. 5 moves, all free. 1. Before any trade-in conversation, get 2 online instant offers and 1 auction-based valuation, so you walk in knowing the wholesale number the dealer knows. The single biggest cause of insulting trades is one party negotiating blind, and it is never the dealer. 2. Never discuss the trade in until the price of the new car is settled in writing. The oldest trick on the lot is giving you a fat trade figure and taking it back inside an inflated changeover. 1 number at a time, always. 3. If you have finance, ring for your exact payout figure the same week you shop. If the best trade offer does not clear it, stop, because rolling negative equity into the next loan is how a 5-year mistake becomes a 10-year one. 4. If your car is on this list and nothing forces a sale, consider holding. Depreciation curves flatten with age. The steepest losses on these cars are already behind them, and selling at the bottom is the only unrecoverable move. 5. If you are buying used rather than selling, invert every entry you just heard. The luxury electrics, the folklore victims, the peak-priced utes coming back to earth, every one is a discount for the buyer who knows why it is cheap and has checked the specific car properly. Before you go, what is confirmed and what is not? Confirmed by the auction houses and the industry's own data, the average 2 to 4-year-old electric falling from above 80,000 to just over 50 at auction. The e-tron and iX3 losing around 59%. The MG4 at roughly half its money in 2 years. The Seal holding near 80%. The Tesla price cuts and the $16,000 Model Y reduction. Auction volumes of used electrics quadrupling. Used electric demand surging over 50% this year as prices stabilize. Reported but not settled. Exactly how far peak-era ute and SUV values have corrected varies by model, spec, and city. The auction indexes move monthly, and the negative equity picture depends entirely on individual loans. So treat any single figure, including mine, as a snapshot. Still developing. The Runout wars, the Chinese pricing pressure, and whether the electric recovery holds. This market is moving faster than any used market in Australian history, in both directions at once. Now your turn, and this thread will be more useful than any valuation site. What did the dealer offer you against what you thought your car was worth? Name the car, the year, and the gap. And if you took the deal anyway, say why. Because the convenience maths is real, and nobody talks about it honestly. 10,000 real trade-in stories in one comment section would be the best consumer resource in the country. And the next part of this story is the part nobody wants to say out loud. The reason all of this matters is that Australians can barely afford the new cars either. Record prices, record loan terms, record repayment stress, and the numbers behind it are genuinely confronting. Why the great Australian new car is slipping out of reach, and what that does next. That is the next video. Subscribe now so you do not miss it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in that one.